This is TWiT.
FaradayRF is solving the problem of providing a open source digital communications solution that is low-cost infrastructure and also appealing to not only image radio operators, but the maker community in general. So trying to blend those two those two groups together, because we actually have a lot in common. And this is just really allowing people to be creative with image radio from a digital perspective.
Okay, and so how did you get involved with this?
I've been an image radio operator since 2004. So I've gone through the gamut of contesting Morse code. Actually, my first conversation ever was on a home-built Morse code transmitter with like the random piece of LAN cable soldered together as transmission line. It probably shouldn't have worked, but it did, and I started off that way, and eventually got more and more into experimentation. And ever since college with K2GXT at the Rochester Institute of Technology, have really started working on projects and bringing in amateur radio as a means to do cool projects from with the technology, going more and more digital. So led to Faraday.
So I want to jump in with a question, if I can. What the name FaradayRF? Where does Faraday come from? Is that a reference to Michael Faraday? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So we kind of were throwing around names, and for a while this project didn't even have a name. And what we ended up doing was we looked and said, well, Michael Faraday came up with the basics of electromagnetism, those laws. So we're like, all right, well, our first radio, let's do Faraday, and and then we decided, well, we'll name it FaradayRF as a company, and it stuck.
So you guys have it's a piece of actual hardware, right? The actual Faraday board. What exactly does it do? Does it have the radio built into it, or does it just convert from audio to digital? Tell us about the board.
So here's the board. I don't know if you guys can see it. There we go.
Perfect.
Let me get. It's a little odd. There we go. Oh, nope. Okay, so
left is right.
That's it. Yeah, right. So what Faraday is it's an all-in-one hardware-defined radio solution. So we decided to go with a chip called it's a Texas Instruments CC430. It's essentially an MSP430 with a CC1101 chip radio in it, all in one. And it has an integrated radio and microcontroller on board, as well as USB serial connectivity and power supplies on board with an RF amplifier to actually put out about 400 milliwatts of power, all in one board. And most of our boards come with onboard GPS for location awareness as well. So we provide the all-in-one package, so you don't have to cobble together power supplies and radios and go back between the radio like you held up, Jonathan, in the beginning. So it's all in one package, and you can develop for it over USB. And it's providing that all-in-one solution.
So it's got a microcontroller built into it. How is that locked down, or is it programmable? Does it need to have something like a Raspberry Pi to work?
Nope. So actually, you can see on the back there's pads for a JTAG connector. So we can use JTAG to program it. Also, we do have a bootloader as well, so we can program it for the most part over USB. And if you want to do debugging, you need the JTAG, but that's all accessible on the bottom. And it does not need a Raspberry Pi to run, although at one point we would like to hook it up to one, because we can access external SPI ports and actually command it over SPI. So that's kind of in the books. Sometime we'd like to do that. But it is an all-in-one smart node. You can set it out and tell it to do things on its own. What the power of an MSP430 will do. Our main goal there is low power and easy to program. The documentation for MSP430 series of microcontrollers is really good. So and we're familiar with it, so we went with it. And the fact that you don't need to power it with a large battery, it'll last. We haven't even optimized for power yet in the code. It doesn't even go into low power modes, and on a 9-volt battery, we'll get easily 10 hours out of it on full power at like 1 hertz data. So it's we kind of looked at that and said, all right, let's wipe our hands for now, focus on some other stuff, and we'll come back to the power later. But we didn't want to have to lug around big batteries or a power cable as well.